What's going on, everybody? Back here doing another deck profile video. I finally got all the stuff together to do the Darkworld deck profile I've been waiting to do. Got a lot of stuff in the mail today. I'm actually going to be working on, as soon as I'm done with this deck video, I'm going to be working on my dragon deck. I've been kind of waiting on getting a couple cards for this dragon deck, but this is a Dragon Chaos build, and I'm just going to show Dark Horse. I dig him in there, and so that's coming soon. But today, right now, we're going to do the Darkworld build, and this is about as close as I get to net decking, really. I really don't like net decking, but I do really like Darkworlds, and Darkworld is kind of standard across the board as far as what you run in it. There's just a couple little tweaks, and the reason I built this kind of variant was based off of the YCS 100 winner. I watched his video and he had some really cool ideas, and so I built this. I'm going to show you some of the concepts in here and also show you that this is the budget version. This is a much cheaper version than the version he ran. So to start with, I have 3 copies of Greffa, which is just kind of the standard 3000 attack beater, easy to special summon. 3 copies of Snow for mass searchability. 3 copies of Brow for draw power. 1 copy of Silva and 1 copy of Gold. This is one of the differences between me and him, was I'm still running 1 Gold and Silva because I just love Gold and Silva. I'm going to run 2 copies of my Braun here, and Braun is really good for discarding Darkworld monsters. He also gets over 2,000 attack points when I have my gates on the field, which is awesome because I'm going to want to be using him as a target for my deck dev later on. 2 copies of Beige. I decided to go with 2 copies of Beige as opposed to like extra copies of Gold and Silva because he special summons just like they do, but I can normal summon him too, which is really advantageous when you're trying to bring out Greffa out of the graveyard. 2 copies of Trans Archfiend. This guy's really cool. You get to discard for virtually no reason. I was turned on to him by watching the Darkworld video that Anthony Tinymech, who is in the trading group with us, did. And he pumps up to 2,000 attack. So he becomes deck devable, and then you can just discard a Darkworld monster and gets effect. So that's awesome. And finally, this is kind of one of those tech cards that I got from the YCS winner, was Malefic Stardust Dragon, and this is just going to help me protect my gates. It's allurable, and because I also have skill drain in here, as you'll see, if I activate the skill drain, I can still attack with all my stuff, which is awesome. So he's a good little handy card to have in there. 3 copies of Gates was written into the spells. 3 copies of Gates of Darkworld is kind of a standard too. I'm going to follow the YCS variant and run all 3 copies of Drag Down to the Grave. Drag Down to the Grave is awesome because the ruling on it stands that if your opponent chooses one of your Darkworld monsters, and you can kind of force them into that a lot of times, the secondary effect activates of the opponent discarding it. So you get the extra advantages of Gold, the extra advantages of Silva, Snow, Brow, Greffa, all good stuff. 3 copies of Darkworld Dealings. This is the first card that I side deck out when I'm playing in the mirror match, and there are some people down at my local that run the Darkworld. So 3 in the main deck, but those will probably come out if I end up playing anything that is similar to me. Card Destruction at 1, Allure, Monster Reborn, Heavy Storm, and Darkhold rounds out my monster lineup. And finally, I have 2 copies of Mind Crush, 1 copy of Starlight Road, 1 copy of Deck Devastation Virus. Kind of a cool story on this deck dev. I traded this to Brandon before I moved, and he just traded it back to me, so it's kind of cool to see my deck dev come back to me. There's my 1 copy of Skill Drain and 3 copies of Reckless Greed. And just for the record, I was running Reckless Greed in Darkworld long before I saw it run in the YCS variant, so I just wanted to make that clear. Alright, so to explain why I chose this variant and I was turned on to it by the YCS winner, but he's not like the only reason. I just really dug this concept because you know I'm a control deck player. And so Drag Down to the Grave allows you to look at your opponent's hand and choose a card and get rid of it. So that's really nice in and of itself. But then you can combo that with Mind Crush, because Mind Crush is because the Drag Down's already going to let you see your opponent's hand, so you can see, oh, you have Dark Hole and Monster Reborn, and now I can Mind Crush whatever I don't drag down. Also, Deck Dev also is going to let me see the cards my opponent is drawing. So I've had games where like I'll set Deck Dev and set Mind Crush, activate the Deck Dev, and I'll get to see their hand for this. And even if there's nothing in the card in their hand I want to get rid of right then, I can Mind Crush what they draw if it's not a monster that's gonna already get destroyed by the Deck Dev. So with that, I also you know, you got a lot of draw power here, a ton of draw power. You got the 3 Reckless Greeds. I've got my 3 Darkworld Dealings, and I got my 3 Gates. And of course I'm going to combine those with my Brows, my Snows, which are only going to help feed me faster. So I've got a good amount of speed in here. I have narrowed it down to an even 40 cards. So that is my low budget Darkworld deck build. You can probably get most of this stuff. Probably build the whole deck for under $40 if you budget it right. The only cards that are going to be a pain to get are going to be the Drag Down to the Graves. Those are really, because it's a common that is really only used in this deck. So, and it's about a $6 common. So 3 Drag Downs are probably going to be the hardest part of the deck to get, but other than that you should be able to get the deck fairly inexpensively and be able to win some tournaments with it. So I hope you guys enjoyed that, and look forward to the Chaos Dragon deck profile that I have coming, and then of course the first live deck profile for Demon Swarm, which is still standing very, very, very strong. I haven't conferred with Chris, but I know that I have 7 more wins and have not lost another duel, so that puts us up to 107-9. So want to encourage everyone to take a look at that. Alright, I hope you guys have enjoyed it. This is Darkworld, and this is me. Peace.